So the WNBA is completely blocking the sale of the Connecticut Sun at all. Period. They're blocking the sale, period. Because now, apparently, they're refusing to allow them to sell to an owner that is not based on the that did not submit an expansion bid. So you can't. They're not even letting them move the Connecticut Sun to Connecticut. They're not even allowing them to move cities. Basically, none of the expansion teams are willing to offer the amount of money that the Connecticut Sun tribe want, and none of the teams, that applied for expansion are willing to offer the money they want, and they're not even letting it happen in Connecticut. They want the Sun to relocate to Houston. They're basically trying to force them. Sources believe Hartford, where lobbying from Vermont is actually superior spotted in Boston in terms of relocating the Sun. Reports WNBA sees Boston as a lucrative expansion. So basically, they want to hold out because they think that Boston in 2033 are going to pay a whole bunch of money to get a WNBA team. Newsflash: if there's a lockout, the WNBA might last till 2033. The way things are going, that is just a newsflash. Like, it is highly unlikely that if there is a lockout or player stoppage or strike coming into next season, that the league, not that it lasts till 2033, but in 2033 the TV deal is going to be less. And by the way, they even think that in the NBA. I think this is going to be like a high for NBA in terms of the it's going to be like a high in terms of TV deals. I think the next TV deal is actually going to be lower. So like, they think there's a very, very good possibility that the next TV deal is going to be lower than the previous one. So with that being said, it's a bold move to play. And it says here as well, according to sources, any team that purchases and moves the Sun will have to pay an additional undisclosed relocation fee, including moving the Sun from Connecticut to Connecticut. It says, under that scenario, the Houston group, led by Rockets owner Tilma Fertitta, likely WNBA's preferred choice by the Sun, will pay roughly $300 million to the Sun tribe for the team, and anywhere from $100 to $150 million for the league to relocate. So it's going to cost them $450 million when the expansion fee is $250 million. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? The expansion fee is $250 million. Why would they pay double the expansion fee when in like 3 or 4 years they can get a team for what's going to probably be the exact same as the expansion fee, if not less? It's probably not going to double. Like, exponential growth is not something that happens over a long term. You can't grow exponentially over a long term. Because if you're able to grow exponentially year on year on year, then it'll take 3 to 4 years until the WNBA is bigger than the NBA if they're going to keep exponential growth. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. Like, if you quadruple in size in 1 year, you can't quadruple the next year, because that's 16 times the initial size in 2 years. That just doesn't happen. But yeah, it is an interesting one. The governors expect to lobby the commissioner, Adam Silver, to change his mind about Hartford. But it's like they're literally having to lobby Adam Silver here, which is kind of crazy. Like, Adam Silver is going against it. So it turns out Adam Silver, it might be an NBA issue, not just a Kathy Engelbert issue, which is crazy. Hartford would be great. Will allow other. They sell 92% of their tickets now, excluding Boston, which is good for such a dreadful team. Why wouldn't the tribe sell for 325 over 300 million? Like, yeah, exactly. Like, they sold it to the Boston person for 325 million, and now the WNBA, it seems like I'm trying to force them to take a lesser offer. It sounds like the WNBA are actually trying to force them to take a lesser offer here. But the reality is that the Connecticut Sun are probably leaving nowhere. Why would Hartford submit a bid for expansion when it's literally in the same state 45 minutes? That doesn't make sense. Neither Hartford nor Boston submit an expansion. Like, it's like saying, why would, there's two teams in LA, so they're going to submit a bid for, the LA are going to submit a bid for expansion. Let's just say the Sparks, we're going to buy, imagine saying if Steve Ballmer wanted to buy the Sparks and play their games in the new Clippers arena. Imagine if they said, no, you need to have it needs to be expansion. We're not allowing you move a team from LA to LA. Give Boston a team. Boston's not going to make a team. My assumption was that W nudging the Mohicans to sell to a Boston group to get a team there without competing in the same market, but they want the expansion fee from any new cities that want in. Exactly. They're like, you know what? You have to give us an expansion fee, which is kind of crazy. Please spending like 5 by Hartford would submit a bid for an expansion team. The WNBA are idiots, it seems. Are like, well, not idiots. Like, they're just trying to do whatever they can just to get an expansion fee. They're basically trying to get if someone buys it from Connecticut, to pay $100 million relocation fee to relocate from Connecticut to Connecticut. Wouldn't moving 38 miles in another part of the state be considered relocation to the same state? Just charge the fee you want. Like, imagine having to pay to move arenas. That's basically it. You're moving arenas. You're not moving states. You're not relocating. You are moving arenas. Like, imagine if the NBA had demanded the Clippers. The Clippers, like, if it's bought in Hartford, they're literally still the Connecticut Sun. Like, they're still going to be the Connecticut Sun. Like, I kid you not, the Detroit team are selling Detroit tops. They don't even have a fucking name. They're selling merch. They don't even have a name. Like, having to submit for expansion the same state is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. According to Sun, 18 purchase moves to the Sun will have to pay an additional undisclosed relocation fee. So basically, they have to... Essentially, what's going to happen is that the Mohican Sun Tribe are not going to be allowed to sell the team. That's what it's looking towards because, they own the arena. They own the practice facilities. They own all of that. So if they sell the team, you're not going to be allowed to play there. And it turns out if you move the team to Connecticut, you're not even allowed to relocate the team to another arena in the same state. You can't even move them into a different arena without having to pay an expansion fee, a relocation fee of well over $100 million. So what's going to happen is the Mohican Sun Tribe, who are trying to sell the Sun, are not going to be allowed to sell the Sun. That's all that's happening. Is that the Sun? There is no way. It is very slowly becoming an impossibility for the Sun. But yeah, it's it is what it is. It is what it is. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.